Before this video starts, I just want you to see that we have an awesome launch today at 3 p.m. We've got Slasher Melts with The Town That Dreaded Sundown, we've got Motel Hell, and we've got The Burning, as well as a restock on all of our vintage video label melts. Those media ones went so fast, now's your chance to get more, as well as the other ones. Thank you guys for watching, and today at 3 p.m. Central Time, you need candles. Link in bio. What's going on, guys? This is your old pal CHH. We've got a Scream Factory review for you, and I'll be honest with you, I have no idea why. And no, it's not necessarily for the reasons you may think. What the hell is scary about Time Cop? I mean, seriously, could we stop for a second before we even get into this? What is scary about Time Cop? The only thing that's remotely scary about Time Cop is how tight Van Damme's ass is in that split scene in the kitchen. Other than that, why is this on Scream Factory? I think I might have a guess, but I don't know. I mean, maybe that they're just trying to fill out the months from here till the rest of the year. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of competition out there now. There's companies doing Reanimator on 4K, like not Scream Factory or even Arrow in America. There's a lot of competition. I don't know. So that's just the weirdest thing to me. No, it's not a complaint, but it's just like, why not release it as a Shout Factory 4K? Why Scream Factory? I can't be the only one. And if you tell me it's because it's sci-fi, okay, it's called Scream Factory. Sci-fi and horror, not the same thing. It's an action film. Anyway, so let's get into it, guys. Time Cop. This is the new Scream Factory 4K release of the film. I am a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme fanatic. I've been a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan since about 2006, 7, even a little bit more before I got into horror. I love Van Damme. Van Damme, to me, is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the greatest action guys of all time. I think the best 80s action film, or one of them, at least top 5, is Bloodsport. Real martial artists, real fights, real battle scenes. Just a fantastic film. I love Bloodsport. It really got me into Van Damme. Van Damme in the early 90s, from about 90 to about 95, is an insatiable run. I mean, the movies he did, starting in 90 with like Death Warrant, then he did Lionheart, Double Impact, Hard Target. It was insane. 1994, Van Damme made a lot of money at the box office. Time Cop was a smash hit. The only guy ever in that same year to give Stallone and Schwarzenegger a run for the money. He might have even outgrossed The Specialist with Stallone, which is a great film, but that's a different video for a different day. I think Arnie did pretty good with True Lies. A little exaggeration there. He did really good with True Lies. But Time Cop was a smash hit. This was a huge movie, and you could almost argue that this was the absolute pinnacle of Van Damme's career financially. Because in the same breath, in the same year, he did Street Fighter, the movie, which did not go over as well as the movie that came out a year later, which was Mortal Kombat. And I will happily admit that Mortal Kombat is much better of a movie than Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter for a lot of different reasons, like Raul Julia is a god in that movie, but, you know, Mortal Kombat is just, I think it's a better movie. But anyway, Time Cop. Time Cop is a movie that mixes sci-fi and action and does it so well. It's interesting, like with time travel movies, I don't really have a lot of in-between with these movies. If it's a time travel movie, I think it's either really good or really hokey or bad. Obviously, like movies like Back to the Future are masterpieces. There's other time travel movies I like, and there's other ones I don't get. Like Time Bandits is a movie that I feel like I should love, but I don't. But when you mix that element with action, action is a subgenre that can be mixed with a lot of stuff. Horror, comedy, sci-fi. Action is very diverse. It can be very diversified as a genre, subgenre. So sci-fi action, I love it. And Time Cop is cool. That's the other thing about sci-fi. I don't know if people don't like to talk about this. Sci-fi, and I am a nerd, but I want to come across as not a nerd half the time, especially out in public. Time Cop is cool. When you talk about the movie Time Cop, unless you're Tony Khan, who just is he's a dork, but he loves Time Cop. I'm not going to fault him for loving Time Cop. Who doesn't love Time Cop? But Time Cop feels like a cool movie. It feels like a cool film. Like you would watch it would be embarrassed to show anybody Time Cop. I think Time Cop is a movie you could show anybody and be like, yeah, that movie's awesome, isn't it? Van Damme plays a cop that gets a job in this new TEC, Time Enforcement Committee. He has to police time travel. What happens is this doctor invents time travel, and it's funny because this movie, it takes the futuristic element in a different spin. It goes forward in time, and then the time travel is all backwards, as opposed to, you know, the time travel going forward being the element of the film, which is probably pretty smart to do. And it's funny because when they're talking about time travel, when this guy in the government is explaining it to this committee in the White House, the way they kind of simplify the explanation of time travel is great. Because he sits down and he goes, so this is how time travel works. You can go back, but you can't go forward in time because that hasn't happened yet. And you almost waited for a more detailed explanation of it, but no, it's kept that simple. You can't go forward because it hasn't happened yet. You can't travel to something that hasn't happened yet. It's probably if time travel was real, I'd believe it that way. Like, yeah, you can go in the past, but you can't go forward because you can't go to something that hasn't happened yet. That makes sense to me. And all of a sudden, one fateful night, all hell breaks loose, which becomes the whole catalyst for this movie, and finding out what led up to that night. And the thing that's interesting about Time Cop, this is not a spoiler, but in the movie, you learn about a politician who is taking this time travel and using it to his benefit in all the wrong and illegal ways for him to make money, to try to run for president. And he is a great villain. The guy that plays Senator McComb, you hate him so much. And Van Damme does a great job. The thing that's great about this movie is Van Damme has always had the ability to be vulnerable as a character in his movies, which makes him work so well. Him and Stallone were like that really good. And so was Arnie by many. You don't see Steven Seagal being vulnerable. I love Steven Seagal, and that's kind of why I love Steven Seagal. Even when he's like down and out, he's still like, it's like it doesn't bother him. But great performance there by Van Damme. This is probably one of his best movies. It was one of the most successful ones, but in terms of his movies, it's one of his best ones. So I love this movie so much. It's a great action sci-fi flick. Some of the CGI effects, or it's not CGI, it's probably a little bit of like optical kind of things that they do. They are a little hokey in small moments, but as a whole, visually, I think that Time Cop is awesome. Especially the way in the 90s they predicted the future to look. You saw this in movies like Demolition Man. The future, they always had like this sleek metal and glass look for everything that they thought the future would look like. In reality, the future would look like it did in the 80s because everybody's just trying to look like they're from the 80s now, which is so ironic, you know. But anyway, guys, let's talk about this release. I know that's why you're here. Was the picture quality on this good? I went from a DVD or Laserdisc to this, both. I have both. What I liked about this release is, you know, the black bars were a little bit bigger than usual on this one. Sometimes the movie takes up the whole screen, and that's the aspect ratio you're watching in. Other times you could see little black bars. This one had a little bit of the thicker black bars, and this release looked a lot like the old Laserdisc release, which was so cinematic and widescreen. I loved the 4K. I thought it looked really good. I'll probably have seen some better ones this year, or I probably will, rather. But I think the 4K looked really good. I'd give the 4K 8.5 out of 10. Again, going from a DVD and a Laserdisc to this was impressive. The thing about Time Cop is I don't think that the movie was dark or anything by that stretch, but when you a lot of the scenes in this movie, especially at the Time Enforcement Agency building, everything is dark. It's like a cave in there with little lights here and there. And that was stylistically in the film. So those scenes, they're darker, but that's because of the nature of the movie, I feel. Other than that, I never found the 4K to be like dark in any sense. Because there's a lot of scenes like when Senator McComb's in the limousine and he smashes the guy's face against the side, which is actually a great moment and great scene. Happy with this release big time. Picture quality wise, I would give it, I said, 8.5 out of 10. I don't even know if this had a Blu-ray in America. It might have, but I never got it. I went from a DVD and Laserdisc to 4K. So that's great. Now let's talk about the special features. Thank you, guys. That was the special features. Now here's the thing. Yeah, I knew that this wasn't going to have any special features. Here's the problem. Okay, here's the big problem with Scream Factory. And if they did this and they changed this, I think we could be in a better position. Okay, they got the rights to Time Cop. Who would blame him? Who blames anybody for getting the rights to get Time Cop on 4K? It's a great movie. Of course, if I had a physical media company and I was trying to get movies, you're damn right I'm going after Time Cop. Are you kidding me? It was a huge hit. It was a 90s action classic. It's a huge hit. It's a big Van Damme movie. You're remastering on 4K. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about features. Here's the problem. Let's say they tried, they couldn't get people, nobody was available, they couldn't get anybody, they couldn't get the cinematographer. I don't know if the director's passed away or not, Peter Hyams, I don't know. I understand Van Damme is probably a guy that's not cheap to get, although that Bloodsport media book over in Germany, boy, there's a bunch of Van Damme on that. And they got him next to a laptop camera and just talked to people, and they got it. They did get him. Here's the thing. I think optically this would come across a lot better if Scream Factory would be upfront, open, and discuss this before even being asked about it. Guys, listen, we tried to get some features. It didn't work out. We couldn't really get anybody. We do apologize. We would have liked to, but we can't. But they don't say anything. Now, here's the problem with that. Optically, it looks like they just don't care about it. Like they think that, who cares about that? Clearly, they do care about special features, but if they would be a little bit more open with their customers about this, I think that would change the dynamics a little bit of stuff like this. Because like when I talk about this, or I post this, or I show this, like I showed earlier, I got this on a live stream. Everybody's like, yeah, I heard they just threw that out there. They didn't even throw any features on there. No, they didn't. My thing is, be honest about it with the audience. Say we tried, say we couldn't afford to do it. It cost, like, just give us something. Make it seem like you care about this release and you still want us to enjoy. Like, listen, we weren't able to get features for this, or we couldn't, maybe they couldn't get the rights to get features for this. I don't know. But the problem is, by not saying anything, this feels like a release that was just shot out by a big machine. Psh, here, enjoy, next. No features, doesn't matter. Who cares? That's my thing. They got to start being a little bit more open with their audience about this kind of stuff. So I can't really recommend this release. I can't. Now, I'm reviewing it because this is what this channel is about in a grand sense, and to talk about movies more so than anything. And I love the movie Time Cop. I'm a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. I love Van Damme. But no, of course I can't really recommend this. If picture quality is the only thing that matters to you, then I can. But if you're wanting to learn about Time Cop, look elsewhere. Go to Wikipedia. You know, you ain't going to learn shit on this release. There's nothing on it. Nothing. Not even a trailer. Nothing. It's just, let me show you. There's the back. There you have it. Special features, the movie remastered. The slipcover is the artwork from the theatrical poster, as you guys can see, and the release is identical. There is no reversible art, and the inside does have, here's the one thing it does have, and I'll show you this, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You do get the Blu-ray and the 4K. It does come with a Blu-ray, which is good. It's nice that we have a Blu-ray. But I guess I can't really recommend this. Now, you're probably saying, Christian, why did you get it? Like I said, you know, this is what I do on this channel, and it gives me a chance to talk about Time Cop in a way that would have a little bit more interest than usual, I guess, because it's a new release. But no, I can't recommend this. There's nothing on it. There's no meat on the bones. Now, if Scream Factory, and this again, if Scream Factory was open about it, I could say, you know what, guys, they said they couldn't do this, blah 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 blah. But I'm still, it would change my feelings, my perceptions a little bit more if they would actually say, you know, we couldn't do anything for it, but we wanted to. This is why we couldn't, blah, blah, blah. Then I'd be like, you know what, though? It's still really cool that they got this movie and they put it out, but it feels like it was shat out by a machine when it's like this, and they don't say anything. So there you have it, guys. I'm going to leave it at that. Wait till it goes cheap. Wait till the inevitable steelbook comes out, so at least you can get something that has really great artwork on it. But at this time, I can't recommend it because there's nothing on it besides just the 4K. It's a good 4K. I think so. I thought it was a good 4K, but other than that, that's what it is. So there you have it, guys. We're going to end this video like this. Sorry if it came across negative. I'm just trying to be real. There's no point in me trying to say, hey, I bought it, so can you buy it too so I feel better about myself? I knew exactly what I was doing. So there you have it, though, guys. I will say this. If you can, just go online and try to find Time Cop and watch it because it's a really, really great movie. It's a great Van Damme movie. But that's it for now, guys. God bless y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Take care. Huge, giant thank you to all all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.